Hi, I'm Dave Cyderbaby. This is Rock Radio UK, and today I am speaking to the legend that is Laurence Archer from Grand Slam. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm not so bad. You're looking well and tanned, and obviously Spain
Well,
is agreeing with you for far too long now.
well, it's lovely and sunny and 27 today, so I'm not complaining.
I've got the curtains drawn just to stop the rain beating on the windows, and but there you go. It's just one of those things. Um, we've spoken before. I mean, Grand Slam have been
Yes,
around now for a few years, but
yes,
in its current format, obviously. But
yes,
you're re-releasing Hit the Ground shortly, and you've got a brand new album, Wheel of Fortune, coming out on the 7th
yes,
of June. So
exactly.
everything's happening. Tell me about it, sir.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Essentially, we wanted to obviously record the new album, and since the very first embryo of the new Grand Slam, uh, we've changed one personnel, which is the bass player, which is Rocky Newton. So we, after doing the new album, we had a thought that we would remix, re-record some, and basically remaster the Hit the Ground album with Rocky
Okay.
on it, and with Jem Davies playing some keys on it. Basically, just to update it, bring it into the fold, as it were, and give the fans something to sort of, a little bit of interest in hearing something else. Hearing it's not vastly different, but it is a new mix. I've remixed it and it's been remastered, and obviously, with Rocky on it, it has a slightly different feel. So
Yeah.
it's I'm very happy with it. Yeah.
I mean, I've only seen Grand Slam as with Rocky on bass guitar, so
Yes.
to me, it will sound exactly as I've seen you.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
um, so did the dynamics change a little bit within the band, just bringing Rocky in? Just a,
Uh, well, yes. Without saying too much, I've known Rocky for a long period of time. He's been a great mate, and we've done a few different projects together. Some small, some. We had a UFO um, band that we played together in for a few years. So the dynamics changed in that it became better, more relaxed,
hmm.
and uh, it's a much more pleasurable than it was. It was a little, there was quite high tension in the first
Okay.
sort of inclination of it, but yeah, it's great having Rocky around. I mean, he's a great guy, he's a great mate, and he's a sort of steadying influence on us all. He's a good lad.
Yes. We may mention Mike later in a different sentence, but hey.
Yes. Yeah. There's no steadying there. No.
No. I mean, I think I first met Mike when he was exploding out of a portaloo at the Rock and Blues Festival.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, the last show we did. Well, one of the last shows we did we did the Legends of Rock Festival in Spain, and my last vision of Mike was Mike standing in a whole dustbin of ice.
right.
We played on the hottest day, which was 47 degrees on the day that we played, and Mike gets warm anyway, or even on a cold day he gets warm. But it was that's my vision of Mike and his undercrackers standing in a dustbin full of ice.
I'm so glad there's no video or photographic evidence of that. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
no. So let's move on. Wheel of Fortune is the brand new opus coming out in June. Um, There Goes My Heart has been out now, what, 2 or 3 weeks? I've been playing it on my
Yeah.
radio show. It's brilliant,
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant. You seem to
Thank
have
you.
you seem to have enhanced the um vibe you actually brought together with Grand Slam in the first place. So it seems to just evolved and grown and gotten better.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is what I'd say to many people that ask me about, you know, where these things come from and how, you know, I'm not trying to jump on any wagon with anything. This is the way I've been writing since day one,
Hmm.
and it's a natural expression for me. You know, There Goes My Heart wasn't my first choice as a single. The record company loved it and said that that's what they wanted to put out as the first single.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, you know, I love the song, and strangely, since doing, I had all the guys over here over in Spain doing the video, um, and after hearing it like 100 times on playback, doing in different locations, whatever, and then we did a little, not a show, but a playback for the video in a local bar here,
Yeah.
in the Harley Bar, as we call it, and that everybody immediately started singing it within the first play. It was just incredible. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. And yes, it has moved on, but it will always have a little bit of my natural way of writing, and that is my
Mm.
natural way of writing. You know, I mean, I grew up with you know, the classic bands, Lizzie, and you know, me. That's why I started playing guitar. And you know, when I saw Lizzie on Sight and Sound in concert in 1976, you know, that was my, oh wow, that's what I want to do. You know,
Yeah.
that's my thing. So heavily influenced by them and many others of that ilk. You know, at the time.
Mm.
You know, getting back to the album, I mean, you know, really happy with the single, and the reaction we've had has been incredible. But when you do get to hear the album, you'll see that it's quite, I wouldn't say diverse, but it covers many you know, it covers many genres of my writing,
Yes.
and my influences. So
Yes. I did notice that. It was going to be one of my questions. Is it's quite a broad reaching album, but it's essentially yourself and Grand Slam just in
yes,
one bigger circle, shall we say.
yeah.
That's,
I mean, we do what we do, you know, and
mm,
we sound like we sound. We don't manufacture anything. I mean, essentially, you know, I brought these songs to the table literally a week before we started recording, and we had like 2 days in the rehearsal studio where basically I went through everything and the arrangements. Obviously,
mm,
we fine pointed them a little bit more when we got into the studio, but um, you know, it was a very natural process for it to come to the point it has with the recording. You know, it was just happened, and Rocky and I and Benji, you know, we all bring our thing now, and
mm,
it sounds the way it does. You know, and Mike obviously is Mike, and Mike sounds like Mike, and whatever he does. So um, it is a very natural process, and it happens very naturally. And to be honest, it seems to happen very quickly because we sort of fall into this way of
mm,
working. It's almost like a natural evolution to get to the point where we've got this end result.
yeah.
Um,
You're almost reading each other's minds, anticipating what you're
yeah,
going to do.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Benji is great. You know, Benji came uh, over to stay with me for a couple of days, and we went through. Um, I'd sort of semi-demoed some of the tracks previously, and there were two more tracks that were completely brand new, and Benji came over, and it was just me and him in the studio, getting the feels for a couple of the tracks, and you know, it's not a normal thing just to play with the drummer and no bass player or the vocals or whatever, but you know, we could tell that we had, you know, that thing happened. It just gelled straight away. So
Yeah.
by the time we got to the rehearsal room, most of the ideas had gelled, even though Rocky and Benji really only spent like 2 days in the rehearsal room learning the songs. So
Wow. Yeah. Okay, just tell me a bit about the other songs. I mean, There Goes My Heart is not exactly a love song in the normal sense of the word, is it?
no, there's a bit of a twist in the song in that
Yeah.
I mean, this is what Mike brings to the table, probably a little bit more than me.
Right.
I wrote the song as a complete ballad, and it was probably a little bit of a soppy love song in some respects. Not that soppy, but it was
Yeah.
you know. And then when I was writing this song, Mike and I got together, and he said, "Why don't we, you know, we're writing about love of the cars. You know, we love cars, we love motor racing, we love motorbikes. We're
Yeah.
petrol heads." And so we kept my sort of sentiment in the song of my original lyric content, but we sort of twisted it into the
Yeah.
whole, is it the girl, is it the car?
Yeah.
You know, do you know what I mean? And
Yeah. I've corrected a couple of people. Yeah.
yeah. So it's really probably about the car more than anything. But there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, yeah.
Moving on. Trail of Tears got me. It's got to be one of my favorite tracks on the album.
Yes, it's you know, as you know, you guys are the only, you know, you guys have heard the album. You're the only guys who've heard it, and Trail of Tears really is it's something that I've had in my pocket since about 1988. I think I wrote
Okay.
the more or less the whole song as in there's a musical arrangement, and I had the idea and the chorus line, and Mike and I sat down, and even Benji sat down. We went through, you know, all the history of you know, the American Indians, and you know, we wanted to put it out there and make it a reasonably strong message without it making it too political. But you know, that's what it's about. And the whole thing was driven by, I had this riff that I wanted, which I had this idea many years ago about doing these different elements where it's almost like, you know, you've got, you know, something that sounds like a traditional Red Indian type of beat, and something that sounds like you know, all different cultures and countries and different aspects of the political thing, and that's where that came from.
Right.
But yes, I'm really hoping that people can see and enjoy that song as much as I think they will, as I hope they will, because I love it. It probably is one of my favorite tracks on the album, to be
Yeah.
honest.
I mean, as soon as you mentioned Buffalo, it got me straight away. Just
Yeah,
gonna say.
yeah.
Okay, other songs that stick out for me because I won't go through all of them. Spitfire's another one.
Yes. Well, Spitfire, I'm hoping, is going to be the next single.
Okay.
We have done we've done about 4 videos now. We've got 5 in process, but we've done 4, I think, which are finished, and Spitfire was actually the first one, because we were thinking that was going to be the first single, to be honest.
Okay.
But I've been talking to the record company recently because they wanted a different release as the second song, but I think I've sort of put my foot down and said, is there any chance that we can make Spitfire the second single? Because I think it shows the sort of the contrast between There Goes My Heart,
yeah,
and the sort of the more traditional, heavier rock element of it. And again, if you listen to the lyrics of Spitfire, it's quite deep and meaningful, and it's about young kids that grew up, and ended up being Spitfire pilots at the age of 18 and having a life expectancy of like 7 days or something. I mean, these people were, incredible, really. Yeah. And that's what the whole thing's about. And we were very lucky to get some, footage for the video from the Spitfire Association and various other things. And I mean, the video looks great. I mean, the video looks fantastic. So, but that song was also a song that was one of the songs that was a sort of last minute. It was like 2 of the last songs that came together. And
okay.
But as a band, as soon as we got this in motion, we all loved it. And when we finished it, I played it to a few musical friends of mine, band friends, and it seems that it's touching the right notes and doing the right thing, So yeah, I'm really happy, and I'm hoping that it's going to do well. I mean, I'm hoping that we might even get into the rock charts or whatever with it, because I think it's a very strong rock song. And if you see the video,
absolutely, yeah.
I mean, you will see the video hopefully very soon, because if we do manage to change the schedule of the releases, it will be the next single out on the 17th of April, I think it is.
Okay, right, yeah. Excellent.
Yes.
The Pirate song. Go on.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
okay.
the longest song on the album. Yeah, nearly 6 minutes long. So
it is. Yeah, well, we don't adhere to all that. It's got to be 1 minute 43 or 2 minute 35 seconds or whatever. I can't write a song that short,
No.
So, but I'll tell you. Well, the background of that is I spent about 6 months in Corfu, in my other life as in the art department for film and television, and in the evening, the productions used to take us out for meals, and we used to have these Greek guys, with balalaikas and and a couple of them actually came to work with me on the film production. And I asked them one day, I said, what are all these traditional Greek songs about? And they said, well, it's all about piracy. It's all about piracy.
Okay.
I went, oh, okay. He said it's all about piracy between the islands and Corfu, and going backwards and forwards to Greece, Albania, and whatever. So I immediately went back to my hotel room, and all the Greek traditional songs, they all sort of go off of this drone, a single note drone thing, and I just went, this is interesting. I'll just do something, and it just came to me really quickly. And then probably that was probably about 8 years ago that I got that original idea, and then I wrote the other heavy part probably about 2 years ago, just demoing and finding another part of the song.
Yeah.
And we've got a great animated video coming for that, where we've got this animated guy, and it goes from us in real life sitting on the beach, and then it turns into the animation, which is all very piratey. But you know, we were trying to think of a song name for it, and we went through everything, and you know, we put all through sort of Sail 7 Seas or do whatever, and then in the end we just went, yeah, let's just call it the pirate song, because that's what it is.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'll touch on 2 more songs. Wheel of Fortune I've got to talk about because it's a title track of
Yeah.
the actual album. So
Okay, well, so I'll talk a little bit more in depth about this song because, as you know, in this industry, you know, money's hard to come by, and since the whole thing's gone very digital, it's very, very much a bit of a shark industry. People, when I announced I was going to put Grand Slam together,
yeah,
we had a lot of people trying to jump on the bandwagon, managers, agents, various other people, road crew, whatever. Anyway, the Wheel of Fortune is essentially about, we had, and I won't name any names, but we had American and English counterparts that basically were taking money from us and promising us a lot of things in America and various other things. And that's why we had a change of personnel in our band, because that they became part of that whole situation. But essentially, it's about us saying, look what you could have won if you'd just been genuine and done what you said you were going to do. So it's a whole play on words, and you know, and if you listen to the song, you'll hear as many game show references as you could possibly put in one song. So we might put a competition out there and just make sure just to say, you know, spot the game show in the words. So, but it's, you know, it's a heartfelt thing for us, in that we've gone through some pretty heavy times, even considering, you know, it's almost like the band hasn't had proper liftoff. You know, when we did the original Hit the Ground album, we released just before lockdown, the whole COVID pandemic. We couldn't go out and do the promotion. You know, we had lots of things in the pipeline regarding playing gigs and festivals and going to America, and all of that came to a little bit cold, and we ended up sitting on our backside for 2 years, which really didn't help the launch of the band. You know, so I do feel like we're at our second innings, as it were, to try and get the whole thing back up on and get the gravitas behind the band, you know, properly. And that's why, I mean, I really wanted this, you know, there's always a payoff of this second album, and obviously with the association with Phil Lynott and the original band, and incorporating some of the original songs on the first album, it's almost like you're waiting for the criticism, or you're waiting for the you know, the thumbs down type of thing. We're very lucky that we got great response, but I wanted this album to be particularly strong, or to show, you know, that I'm not just using that element of my life to move on. I only really called it Grand Slam because it seemed like the natural progression, if I'm going with those songs that I had on the first album. But it's a very important thing for me that this album shows the diversity in the work, and also the connection between my writing with Phil to my writing now.
Yeah.
And if anybody says, oh, I mean, the weirdest thing is I get now when I play some songs that, as far as I'm concerned, they have no relevance in writing or style or anything to do with Lizzie or Phil or anything, or the original Grand Slam. People still say, oh, you know, that's you know, it might sound like Phil, or it sounds like Thin Lizzy, where it's, you know, it might be a song that has no, you know, this is the thing I'm going back to, is that what we put out is purely us. We don't try and manufacture anything. You know, we're not trying to sound like anybody or manufacture the way we do come across or sound. We just try and be as natural as we can. And you know, in some respects, maybe we are maybe just a little bit more classic rock than trying to be the most modern rock band. You know, that, you know, fit into all the boxes that everybody wants these days, or some record companies seem to want these days. But I still believe that there's a market for good melodic classic rock, you know, and that's, for me, it's important to have a song, you know. For me, you know, when we were filming the videos and when we were doing the, you know, everybody from the audiences and people, the onlookers, to the film crew, were going back every night going, I can't get that song out of my head, I can't get this. And that, to me, you know, I call them earworms. That to me is the most important thing. If people can walk along humming it, or you can sing it playing an acoustic guitar, that to me is the most important part of a song, you know. So that's the way I write, and then I arrange it to be into a rock song, or, you know, ballad, or whatever it is. But that's the way it is. But yeah, but I'm very happy with the outcome of the album at the end of the day.
So you should be. I mean, it is an absolutely stunning album. I have pre-ordered it already, which as soon as it came out, I thought, right, I'm having that anyway, because just on the back of Hit the Ground, I hadn't heard any of the tracks, and I thought, yeah. And I'm not disappointed after hearing it now. I'm not disappointed one little bit. I mean, was there 10 tracks on there, and every one of them stands out. They've got their own legs. You say you got 4 or 5 videos ready for singles. You could put every song out there and it would be an instant hit, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing feedback I've had from people that have heard it, have said there isn't a weak song on there, and I think you're right. It's almost like every song could be released as a single, and that's sort of how we wanted to make the album. You know, that's the thing. It's important for me that, as I said, it's got to be a song, and it's got to be something that people can recognize straight away, and that seems to be, I mean, in some respects I probably write in a very simplistic way, to make it that way, that people can get immediately involved in it. You know, I don't adhere myself to overcomplicated music and melodic elements that just jolt on you. I just think when something is, you know, it goes where you think it's going to go. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like, then it brings people in.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like There Goes My Heart in the chorus, where it goes, hey, you, you know, we sang it once on the video shoot, and the whole audience just started singing it back within one go, and it was like I wasn't even asking them. The next thing I know, they're doing, hey, you, every chorus. It's like, well, that's a great thing, because if we do get to a stage and we're out there and everybody knows the song we're playing, I mean, I'm just hoping the whole audience are going to do that. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Engaging.
Well, I'm not going to hold you up too much longer. Everybody can pre-order the album now off of your website, I believe.
Yes, I think all the links are on the website and our Facebook page, our Instagram page. I believe there are ads going up on all of our social media platforms from the distributor. So I think that will all be out there anyway. But it's all there for pre-order on the website, and if you go to the main page, it shows all the albums and all the bits and pieces that you can buy. I think they're even releasing it on cassette, which is
I've got to say, I've got a car that's old enough to have a cassette player still in it. So.
yeah. I think we've all got cars with with cassette players. So and I think I still got my Sony Walkman.
Yeah. So, okay. Hit the Ground is out, I believe, in May, and Wheel of Fortune in June. Thank you, Laurence, for taking time to speak to us. It's always a pleasure. And I wish you all the very best of this album, because it is a stunning album. I do love it. And it's just captured every essence of what I enjoy in rock and metal and everything. So excellent.
Fantastic.
Well done.
Thank you, mate. No, it means a lot coming from you guys, because you hear a lot of stuff, and for you to say that, that's great. But it's I'll never say I'm going to have big expectations for this album, but I think it's got everything on it that you need to get it, to where we'd want it. So let's see.
Okay.
There's a long line of the long ladder to go up, many runs to do, but very happy, and go buy it.
Absolutely. No doubt we'll see you on the road fairly soon anyway.
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed.
Laurence, thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Take care. Always a pleasure. Give my love to everybody.